Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Bhaktavatar, can you play Mridanga or kartals? Thanks. Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Giri Vada Hari Jaya Giri Vada Hari. Chakri Prabhu, you play the cartels? Or are you going to leave? Thanks. Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jaya Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jakum Jabihari. That's it. Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jakum Jabi. Thanks. Jamuna Tira Chari Jakum Jabi Hari. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kum Jabi Hari. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Giri Vadadhari Jaya Giri Vadahari. Yasudanandana Brajajana Ranjanam Yasudanandana Brajajana Ranjanam Jaya Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jakunda Bihari Jamuna Tira Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jakum Jabi Hari. Jaya Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjabi Hari. Go Premanandi. Okay. Thank you for playing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is for Chandan Yatra? Okay, ecstatic. It's getting hot enough for that. Huh? When they put sandalwood paste? I don't know. You have to ask like Mother Manjali, whoever's doing it. That's not me. Usually when it's really hot out, so you're getting definitely in that category. Probably Sunday. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Veda Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Veda Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, today we're reading from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. This is volume 5. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Okay, I'm just going to read one of the Bengali verses, and then I'm going to read English, and we'll get a kind of a gist of what's being discussed here. I'm starting from 14 and 15. They're together. Chapter 5. Madhya Leela. Yeah. So you guys, look at, I'm going to read the Sanskrit slowly. You could probably guess the meaning of this verse. Okay? Here's the words. Kama krodera dosa hana tara litikaya. Do you guys know what the word kama means? Kama. Like Kamadev, Cupid. Yes. Lusty desires, kama. And kroda? Anger. Very good. Okay. Brahmate, brahmate. Being repeated. What does that mean when you repeat something over and over again? Like a kid's going to run in the street and the mother yells, stop, stop, twice or 3 times. If you say something twice, what does that mean? Yeah, it means it's important, right? This is being emphasized. Okay, brahmate, brahmate. So, what does the word brahmate mean? Means wandering, wandering about. Do you ever feel like you're wandering about, Radhakalachandji Dham, wondering what you should be doing right now? There's a simple answer. It's coming to Srimad Bhagavatam class and grinding sandalwood for Krishna. Okay, next word. How about tanra? Not tantra, tanra. T-A-N-R-A. Yes. Okay, let me give you some easier words. How about sadhu? Yes, it's saint. Prabhupada translates it as a devotee. How about vidya? And vaidya? Vidya means knowledge, so what does vaidya mean? Vaidya means one who has knowledge. So vaidya means, here translated as a physician. Right? We hope our physicians have knowledge. Okay. And how about, oh yeah, the word tanra means his. So how do you say hers? Tanri. Female, right? Addition to the word. Just like you have the name, what? Give me a word that has both a male and female. Like my name is Narottam. Naro means man. Nari means woman. So when you see a female, you know, what's that called? Conjunction or addition to a word, then you're addressing a female. Okay, what else into our Sanskrit today? How about the word upadesh? Yeah, how did you know that? So what does Amrita mean? Upadesh? Nectar of instruction. Yes, upadesh means instruction. So how about upadesh mantra? Right? Well, it's used here not as a single word. It's used as two words. So it would be instructions and hymns, or instructions and mantra. Just like japa and Bhagavatam class. Follow it? Okay, what else in our Sanskrit today? How about Krishna? How about if you put the emphasis over the A? Krishna. No, well, you could call Radharani Krishna, but Krishna specifically refers to Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas. Why? Krishna means Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Draupadi is called Krishna. Why is she called Krishna? Because of her devotion to Krishna, but also she had the same color as Krishna. There you go. Now we're getting into the Sanskrit a little bit here, guys. Okay, how about Krishna Bhakti? Yeah, is Bhakti just a feeling? It's devotional service. It's meant to be active, right? So if someone just says, I have bhakti, I have bhav, what do we call that person? Sahajya. That's not, because the bhakti should take the form of some service. Just like if you say, like I'm married, right? So if I say, oh, I love my wife, but I won't do anything Kumkumangi asked me to do. There's no meaning to it, right? So love means there has to be activity. So bhakti means there must be service rendered. Yes? Of what? Sahaja means somebody that only comes here to eat. No, a sahaja is someone that's imitating a more elevated stage. Just like, I'll give you an example. Like I was in Fiji with my Guru Maharaj. He gave a lecture on devotional service. So one man in the audience came up and he started rolling on the ground in front of the stage while my Guru Maharaj was giving a lecture and saying, Krishna, Krishna, rolling on the ground. Like he was exhibiting ecstatic symptoms. So my Guru Maharaj explained then the meaning of the sahaja, that somebody that imitates You see this advanced stage of devotion, advanced stage and symptoms of devotional service. So, and then by the end of the class, he was outside this auditorium where we were, and he was smoking a cigarette. So, you know, there's a difference between devotional experience or a spiritual experience and a spiritual hallucination. Just like if you go to Radharani's birthplace in Varshana, right? I'm sorry, it's the home of her. Varanasi is the place of the Mayavadis, but it's one of the four main dhams of India. If you die in Varanasi, it's considered you'll go to the spiritual world. Varanasi, Dwarka, what are the other two? The four main dhams of India, according to the scripture. Where? There's Dwarka, there's Varanasi. What's the word? I can't hear you. Jagannath Puri and Rameshwaram. Vrindavan is a sacred place for the devotees of Krishna. But in general, it's known that the four main dhams, like Puri is also a place of Krishna. Rameshwaram is the very place of Lord Ram, where Ram established the deity of Lord Shiva. Actually, it was Hanuman. But he's worshipped there. After he killed Ravan, it's a beautiful temple that's there. Lord Chaitanya went to that temple. What about Dwarka? Krishna lived in Dwarka, right? Krishna lived in Dwarka. Does that mean Krishna is a Gujarati? The Gujaratis think so. Prabhupada used to say that. Prabhupada used to say to the Gujaratis, Krishna lived in Dwarka, he's a Gujarati. It's in the Prabhupada letters. You can read it. And also, what about, and Varanasi? Why is Varanasi sacred? Lord Chaitanya went to Varanasi. Well, why is Varanasi sacred? Okay, that's your homework. You have to find out why Varanasi is sacred. Well, Lord Shiva's worshipped there, of course. He's worshipped there, but there's a reason. Something happened there that makes this place one of the main dhams. The churning of the milk ocean? No, that was in Svetadweep. But there's a confluence where one drop fell to the earth in... No, not the Ganga. One drop of the milk ocean. When they churned it and the samaras was created, the samaras was the drink that gave Bhima the strength of 10,000 elephants. So you know the story, right? The demons and demigods made an arrangement. They wanted to churn the milk ocean to get all these the samaras from the milk ocean. But when they lifted up the mountain, Mount Mandara, it's in the Bhagavatam, what happened? They all got crushed to death. So the point is, when you try to enjoy sense gratification, you get death. So what happened? Vishnu came, he picked up the Mandara mountain, right? And then he glanced over them and he brought all of them back to life. Then Vishnu told them, I'll take the form of a tortoise, one of my incarnations, Korma, and put the mountain on my back because I have the shell and I can't scratch my back as a turtle and my back is itching. So you put the mountain on there, wrapped Vasuki around the mountain, the king of the snakes, and pull the mountain back this way and that way, and I'll hold it up as a pivot so you guys don't have to hold the weight. And this way I'll have my back scratched, and at the same time the ocean will be churned and the samaras will be produced. Not only samaras was produced, the goddess Lakshmi came out of the ocean of milk. And many things came from the ocean of milk. There was an incarnation of the Lord in the form of a horse came out of the ocean of milk. What's that horse's name? How are you grieving? What's the name you're saying? Ujjayi I think that's the name of Indra's elephant, right? What's the name? See the picture right here of Krishna lifting Govardhan? Up on the top of the mountain there's Indra. He's riding a four-tusked white elephant. What's the name of that elephant? What? What's the name of the elephant that Krishna and Balaram killed when they went to Mathura? What's the name? Kulapida. Kulavapida. Kulavapida. You know when I'll tell you one story and then I'll finish reading this. When Krishna and Balaram were taken on the chariot of Akura, their uncle, so Akura started to feel, like really bad that I'm their uncle and I'm taking them to get killed. So he started at one point, he started to cry and he started to tell Krishna and Balaram, that Kamsa sent me to bring you to get killed. And the first thing that he's got waiting for you when we get to Mathura is this gigantic elephant that's going to stomp you guys to death. And then Krishna and Balaram looked at each other and they said, Krishna said to Balaram, Kamsa's got an elephant. And they both started laughing really loud like this elephant was going to be able to do anything. They beat it to death and then they pulled the tusks out of its face. And they walked into Mathura with the tusks over their shoulders, still dripping with blood from the elephant and the elephant driver. They pulled its tusks out and they broke its skull open with its own tusks, beating its head to death. That's the coward boys, man. Those guys don't fool around. Yeah, but they turned to one another and Akurava was crying, and then they turned to one another and they said, Kamsa's got an elephant. Oh no. Okay, here's our verse today. In this way, the conditioned soul becomes the servant of lusty desires. And when these are not fulfilled, he becomes the servant of anger and continues to be kicked by the external energy Maya. Okay, who can tell me a verse from Bhagavad Gita that explains the same point? Famous verse, quoted by Prabhupada many, 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 many times. Huh? No, it's Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, Rajaguna Samadbhava. Right? That's what we're talking about, Kama and Krodha. Kama Esha. Who knows the whole verse? Chapter 2, guys, come on. Snap out of it, man. You got to think. Time to think. We're in class. Right? Krishna says when you try to enjoy sense and gratification and fulfill your lusty desires, you become frustrated. And then after you're frustrated, you get angry. And after you're angry, you become what? You become, no. You become depressed. I'm working so hard and I'm not happy. Oh no, my life is pathetic. Then he says, you become depressed, then you become delusioned, right? Oh, I don't know what to do. Should I go to work or should I grind sandalwood? Oh no. And then after that we become bewildered. I want to be good. I want to take care of everyone around me, but I don't have enough time to chant my rounds. So what should I do? Yeah, intelligence is lost. And then one falls down again within the material world. Bloop? It's not called blooping anymore. We just call it fading away. At least your saffron fades. And another brahmachari bites the dust. I shouldn't joke. Hey, you guys, I shouldn't joke like that. Becoming a grihast is actually a higher level of responsibility. It's considered to be more advanced than a brahmachari, right? But you're supposed to be a grihasta brahmachari, not a what? Griyamedi. Yeah, so here is Krishna saying this, right? In this way, the conditioned soul becomes the servant of lusty desires, and when these are not fulfilled, he becomes the servant of anger and continues to be kicked by the external energy Maya, wandering and wandering throughout the universe. He may by chance get the association of a devotee physician. Interesting, devotee physician. Let's see what's the Sanskrit word for that. That's what we read. Vaidya. Bhakti Vaidya. Devotional physician. Did you guys know you're doctors? Physician, heal thyself. So then he says here, this devotee physician whose instructions and hymns make the witch of the external energy flee. The conditioned soul thus gets into touch with devotional service to Lord Krishna, and in this way he can approach nearer and nearer to the Lord. Beautiful verse. Here's the purport. An explanation of verses 8 through 15 is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrita Pravaha Basa. The Lord... sorry guys, my eyes are failing me now already. The Lord is spread throughout the creation in his quadruple expansions and incarnations. Krishna is fully represented with all his potencies in each and every personal extension. But the living entities, although separate expansions, are also considered one of the Lord's energies. Okay, so in this paragraph right now, we're hearing about the quadruple expansions. Who can tell me what the first quadruple expansion is? What? Can't hear you. Vasudeva is one. Who are the rest? Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So the first quadruple expansion, who do they appear from? No. Krishna expands first as Lord Balaram. And then Balaram expands as the first quadruple incarnation of the Lord. They're called the Mula or the root, the Mula quadruple expansion. And then from them, a secondary quadruple expansion comes. And then from them, who comes? The Dallas Cowboys. Who comes? The Leela avatars come. Like Nrsimhadev, right? There are 10 Das avatars, the main 10 Leela avatars. Are there only 10? How many are there? Infinite, as many as there are waves in the sea. Who is the first of the 10 incarnations that appears, according to Srimad Bhagavatam? Matsya, the fish, right? Right? Without Matsya, there couldn't be Noah's Ark. You know, the Christians say that Noah's Ark was actually the Ark of Manu, according to the Vedas. But they changed the name to Noah in their Christian tradition. But they accept that Manu came on the Ark, according to Christian academicians. Maybe not your average guy in the street who's going to waste your time. No, oh, shh, did I say that? I'm so sorry. No, they're not a waste of time. At least they accept God as a person, don't they? Do they accept God as a person? Do Christians accept God as a person? Does anyone have an answer to that? Do Christians accept God as a person? When I was growing up, I was in Catholic school, and the picture that they showed me of God is an old man sitting on a throne with a huge beard, and he has a blank oval for a face. Okay, so we got them quadruple expansions, right? And then they expand into different incarnations. They come as the Leela avatars. Then you have the, what? Purusha avatars. Who can name the 3 Purusha avatars? Right? No, Mahavishnu is called Karnadaksha Vishnu. The second one is actually Garbhadaksha Vishnu, and the third is Shiradaksha Vishnu. So Mahavishnu is the one that lies down on the causal ocean. He's also called Karnadaksha. Karnadaksha is a name for the causal ocean. It's a body of water that divides the material world from the spiritual world. It's sometimes also referred to as the Vaitarani River. That Ganges comes from that origin. And that's a spiritual ocean. And Mahavishnu, the picture you see of him laying on Sheshnag with Lakshmi, massaging his legs, he's lying there on the causal ocean. And from his pores of his skin, universes appear like droplets of sweat appear from our own bodies. Okay? Then he expands himself into each universe as Garbhadaksha Vishnu. From his body, pure water appears. It fills up the bottom of the universe. And then again, Sheshnag creates a bed. Why does the Lord lay on a snake bed? Why wouldn't he want to sleep on a water bed? Or a what? A futon. Why does he sleep on a snake bed? And Shesh is ecstatic, so it's cool to lay there. No, because snakes are cool by nature. So the Lord lies down on Sheshnag as his bed because the body of Sheshnag is cool and very comfortable to sleep upon. Does that mean you should lie down on a snake bed? There was one lady in the news about 2 weeks ago. She had one of those huge anaconda, what are they called? The big pythons, right? That wrap around their prey and squeeze them to death. And this lady, she had this snake as a pet. And as it grew up bigger and bigger, she kept it. And then she let it sleep in her bed. And the thing strangled her and swallowed her. You can Google. It was in the news about 2 weeks ago. I was like, whoa, man. Sleeping with your anaconda. Yeah, see, you cannot imitate the Lord. You can follow his instructions, but you should not imitate him. Don't lie on a snake bed, please. Okay, so we got the Purusha avatars, and then you have the Guna avatars. Who are they? Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. And what do they control? Really? I thought Shiva was the one who smokes marijuana. No, we should never joke like that about the demigods. Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee of Vishnu. You know the verse? Shambhu Param Vaishnava. right? So who does Lord Brahma control? And then Lord Vishnu? The mode of goodness. Thank you. All right, so we've got now we have our guna avatars. All right, and then what? We have Shaktavesh avatars. Can you give me an example of a Shaktavesh avatar? Really? I would agree with you. He's definitely an empowered representative of the Lord, appeared and spread this movement all over the world. Even great authorities in Western universities agree, like Ale Basham, he's considered to be the greatest, the top authority in the world on Eastern philosophy and religion, says that even since the days of Jesus Christ, no one has been able to take a practice of spiritual life and spread it all over the world, as well as translate so many books and, you know, and bring these teachings into every culture and every race and every continent. Once I was in Vrindavan on Prabhupada's appearance day, and the leading sannyasi of the Madhvacharya sect was there in Vrindavan. They asked him to speak about Prabhupada, and he said, according to his realization, that Prabhupada was greater even than Lord Shiva. And the reason he gave was because Lord Shiva was able to control the Ganges River and bring it down, and so that it could inundate India. But Prabhupada was able to bring down the entire ocean of love of God and inundate the entire world. Srila Prabhupada ki. No, wait for the end. No, okay, go ahead. I'm just having a discussion with you guys. Go ahead, shoot. You got to do your homework for that. That's a big discussion. But basically, a devotee can surpass the Lord by the mercy of the Lord, just like Arjuna, right? Arjuna could, what did he do? He surpassed Krishna, right? When he was, they were fighting, and, you know, there's different examples where the Lord, he wants the devotee to be glorified instead of himself. So by the mercy of the Lord, the devotee becomes equal to the Lord or even surpasses the Lord. What's an example of that? Mother Yashoda, right? She can take the Lord and tie him up. Okay, so now we've discussed this. So the Lord appears in different expansions and incarnations, and then the living entities appear. And even though the living entities are expansions of the Lord, they are not as powerful as the Lord, being parts and parcels of the Lord. Although separate expansions are also considered one of the Lord's energies, the living entities are divided into two categories. What are the two categories? Nitya Siddha and what's the other one? Nitya Bada. Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated. Nitya Bada, eternally bound. Right? I thought you were going to say black and white. So, that was just a racial joke, you guys. All right, so we got eternally liberated, eternally conditioned. So those who are ever liberated never come in contact with the material energy, the external energy. The ever conditioned souls are always under the clutches of the external energy. So the eternally liberated are always under the shelter of the spiritual energy, and the conditioned souls are always under the control of the material energy. Just like one Indian, older man, he asked Prabhupada, why don't you have a deity of Durga on the altar? with Radha and Krishna. Because Prabhupada was Bengali, right? So they worship Durga there. So there's a big sect, right? The Shaktas. And so they asked, why don't you have the deity of Durga on the altar to Prabhupada? And Prabhupada said, why do you want to worship Durga? She has the trident, and she's inflicting the threefold miseries into your body, into your life. Adhyatmic, Adidevic, and Adibhotic miseries. So why do you want to worship her? She's creating all suffering for you. Better you worship Srimati Radharani. She will give you just love. Srimati Radharani ki! Question? Yes, sir. You know I'm not the ultimate authority. I can quote some things that I know from the books, but I'm not like an ultimate, personality that can answer everything perfectly. But shoot, go ahead. Let's see what you got. Yes, the devotees sometimes worship the demigods. They always offer respect to the demigods. They offer respect to all living beings, even an ant. Like we have that prayer, Gurudev Kripa Bindu. So the second verse, right, it's, oh my Lord, please invest me with the power to properly honor all living beings. Only then will I chant the holy name in great ecstasy and will all my offenses cease. So I asked my Guru Maharaj, what does that mean? So what does that mean, you guys? Please invest me with the power to properly honor all living beings. What does it mean to honor all living beings? That means you got to make pizza for everybody. No, I'm just joking. What does it mean? You got to speak louder. I can't hear you. You see them as part and parcel of Krishna, true? But how do you just see them? You may want, like Arjuna, he saw everyone as part and parcel of Krishna and he killed the Kauravas. Not out of enmity or not out of enviness, he just killed them because Krishna wanted them dead. That's very difficult to understand. A simple point is that if we want to, Hare Krishna, if we offer, like, oh my Lord, please invest me with the power to properly honor all living beings, that means, my Guru Maharaj told me, when you offer the same respect to each and every person as you respect your Guru. Then you're seeing and you're acting with someone as if they're spiritual. Well, you can see things as Guru, like in the 11th canto, what is it, Avanti Brahman, he sees all living beings and all living creatures as his Guru. Like, really, I'll give you a nice example. You can do that in spiritual life. Like the Avanti Brahman, one of the examples that I really like is he saw a spider on a web. So he said, this spider is my Guru. If you read that in the 11th canto, you see he picks out about 25 different things that you would never guess as a Guru. But one of them is a spider. So he said, just like a spider can, with its own potency inside of itself, spin a web, and then the spider can go and dance freely on the web, and if any other insect comes in contact with the web, they become entangled, and then at any given time, the spider can withdraw the web back within itself and leave that place. He said in the same way, the Lord, he can manifest the material creation. He can come here and perform his pastimes without getting entangled in the material energy, like the spider dancing on its own web. And all other living beings that come in contact with the web become entangled, just like all of us, we come in contact with the material energy, we become entangled. And the Lord can withdraw the material energy at any time. So there are examples in the Bhagavatam where you can, with spiritual intelligence, accept all living beings as a Guru. But that's a very elevated point, and that's also developed from the perspective of the devotee. Not necessarily the spider is speaking some Vedic knowledge, but the example can be taken. So the point is that within nature, because nature manifests from the Lord's potencies are within nature. You can see Chaitya Guru, the super soul is there, but you won't hear the super soul speaking. Just like if you come here and you pray to the deities, please Krishna, help me in so many ways, right? But the devotee is actually even more beneficial, the association with the devotee, because the devotee is the one who will come and tell us, come, chant 16 rounds, come, offer your food to Krishna, come, hear the Bhagavatam, this and that. The deity, very difficult to make communication or have a relationship unless one is advanced. But to come to that advanced stage, the simple example is given, just like if we were tied up, if our arms and legs were tied, only somebody who's free could untie us. Even though you might be very rich, even though you might be very intelligent, you have so many degrees, even though you may have a good car, nice house, a visa to go anywhere in the world, whatever, but if your arms and legs are tied, you cannot get free. Only someone who's free can untie you. So in the same way, even though we may even have all of the Bhagavatam and all this, the Bhagavad Gita memorized, but we still may be under the influence of the material energy. So Krishna, Arjuna asked Krishna that, how within the material world are we able to become free from the material energy and realize the Vedic teachings? And Krishna says, Evam paramparam praptim imam rajoshyo vitu, that through the parampara. So the point is that somebody who's free from the influence of the material energy, they can teach us how to get free. And they can also teach us how to love Krishna. You see, on our own, we may not know. Just like I'm Italian, so I may think, okay, well, I'll cook for Krishna. Let me make, something like a pepperoni pizza for Krishna. So the devotee, right? The devotee can free you from that ignorance. Just like, say, if you're in the material consciousness of just being selfish, right? You want the best of everything for yourself. You go out, you work as hard, you make as much money as you can for yourself. You go to the store, you want to buy the best of everything for yourself. You go and you cook, and you bring the things at home, you cook, and you just want to sit down and eat so that you yourself are happy. So if you do that over and over again, your heart becomes hard. But if you just practice devotional service, yes, let me go out, earn as much money as possible so that I can do things for Krishna, like build a beautiful temple, or print Bhagavad Gitas and distribute them, or to help my family and friends to be devotees. Start an ice cream shop with Radhakala Chandri ice cream right here in the back hallway. You say, so you go out and you earn money. It's not that we're telling you, give up your Lexus and drive a motor rickshaw. We're not telling anyone that. We're saying, yeah, buy your Lexus, buy a good car, and then utilize it in Krishna's service. Krishna is not denying us. Krishna is not telling Arjuna, give up everything, give up Hastinapur, give up your bows and arrows, and just go live, out of a garbage can. He doesn't tell Arjuna that. He tells Arjuna, and he doesn't tell Arjuna just chant japa. He tells Arjuna, you be Krishna conscious, you chant japa, and at the same time, you take over the whole world. But do it for me. Be my instrument. So that's the point, right? So if we go and we earn as much money as possible, but we're thinking how I can use this money to please Krishna, just like these beautiful outfits. You can buy the outfit. You can pay for flowers. You could. Actually, when you come to think about it, it's such a beautiful idea because Krishna consciousness means to see everything in the world and everything that we have and are able to do as a way to show our love, to extend our love to Krishna. Oh, do you have veggie pizza? See? So what do you recommend? Here's a guy who runs a pizza factory. This gentleman, pizza. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. No, everything is gradual, and we're in a situation here where we're surrounded by people with not only that eat meat, they all have guns too. There's probably more guns in this neighborhood than in most armies in the world today. I'm not against guns, by the way. Using Christian service. That's definitely one good step in the right direction. I'll tell you one thing. I used to have a food cart. My wife and I will cook for big rock concerts. So one time we did this NASCAR championship, national championship, 250,000 people here at the Texas Motor Speedway. So on the midway, we put the trailer. So the trailer says Krishna's Cuisine, International, what did we say? Krishna's Cuisine, experience the yoga of eating. We said international, vegetarian, I don't know what we said, cuisine. We said vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, right? International. And so I'd have these guys coming by the rednecks, you know, they're coming by the trailer and they're saying, vegetarian at NASCAR, you gotta be kidding me. And then I'd have all these women, like all their wives are different, these rich American women, you know, they're driving the big motorhomes, they all do yoga, and they're telling me, don't worry, honey, I'll be right back and I'll get some real food. So what we did was we put another booth up on the concourse, which is near the seats. So on that booth, I put a big banner that said Hot Rod Hoagies, and I just had our menu, honey barbecue, Bima burgers, and whatever. I didn't say anything about being vegetarian, right? So one of the devotees here, he grew up, he's kind of a redneck chef guy, you know, and I brought him, and he ran that booth for us, and so the guys would come over. Oh, you got barbecue. What's in your barbecue? And then he'd say, oh, it's mixed barbecue, sir. He said, oh, mixed? All right, I'll try it. So by the end of the race, I had all these rednecks lined up, you know, like 100 of them in line. They're all coming over getting these big honey barbecue sandwiches with all this, like, Mother Sweta made this wheat gluten. We marinated it. And my wife made the Asian barbecue sauce. And, you know, covered with, you know, fresh vegetable, like fresh, you know, leaf lettuce and you know, the honey barbecue sauce and the cheese and everything, you know, I mean, it's a really good sandwich. And fries on the side, you know, like, what are they called? Those sweet potato fries. Oh, my God, they're delicious. And then, you know, and they're all lined up. Best barbecue I ever had in my life. Oh, my God. You know? And then I ended up bringing everything from the trailer that said vegetarian on it up there, and we sold out. And then when I was driving Kumkumangi home, she was saying, I defeated the rednecks. So, you know, the thing is, if the cooking is so good, even if it's vegetarian, right? People are like vegan, vegetarian, whatever, man. It's so good. Just give me more. So what I would say, like, you know, one of the gurus I know, His Holiness Guru Prasad Maharaj, his brother is this famous lawyer in Houston. Like, if you go to visit his brother, his office is the whole floor of an office building. Like, he's the kind of lawyer, you know, that wears his cowboy boots, and you go in his office, and he's got his back to you with his boots up on the top of the windowsill and stuff. And then, so Maharaj used to go and preach to him and the other lawyers. They would go to this bar. So Maharaj would go in and sit with them sometimes and talk to them. You know, it was a little lawyer bar. And then Maharaj talked to them about prasadam like this. And Maharaj said, you know, all about how if you take prasadam, it'll change your life and it'll make you more spiritual. So after the end of it, his brother-in-law came over and said, Maharaj, I don't want any prasadam because I like my life just the way it is. So then Maharaj had me go get a bunch of pizza boxes from Domino's Pizza or whatever, and we made the prasadam pizzas. And we brought them to the bar, you know, whatever, like the next week or whenever we saw them next. And they were all sitting and eating the prasadam pizza thinking it was a Domino pizza. But the thing I would say is that now there's a lot of really good mock meat. You can buy it at like the Asian grocery store or even at Whole Foods, but you can order it wholesale too. And they have like the devotees even, the ISKCON devotees in Russia. I mean, I don't know if you can get it out of Russia now because of the war and stuff, but I know here they also produce it. It's called Veggie Farm, V-E-G-E Farm. Yeah, and they have chicken, they have pork, they have sausages. You can see that, you go into Whole Foods, they have a little package. But they have the pepperoni. They have, but it's vegetarian. But if you taste it, it tastes just like eating meat. No, really. I'm serious. You know, you might, I'm just saying you might want to try it at least once. You know, but you give some special, but like you said, you know, we can't change overnight. You're all invested your money in this Italian restaurant, right? So, you know, you have to live out some karma. But at the same time, at least, like all of us, you know, working for an oil company, right? We're working for, you know, so many things that they're killing. They're drilling oil. They're creating bombs. One of my godbrothers, he works for NASA. They make missiles and rockets, right? And all this stuff. So like you said, at least we can do is take the profit, take care of our family. We're not saying live in a forest or anything. Take care of yourselves. Be healthy, happy. But use the profit of the business for Krishna Seva. That's the best. And then gradually we try to, what should I say? Devotional service is a series of systematic arrangements. You see, just like these guys are now systematically moving to go take prasadam. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, you guys. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Glory to Srila Prabhupada.